Hey, my Taurus. This is Heather. Welcome back to Woke.Ones.Revolution. Hope you all are doing well. I've sure missed you all and definitely appreciate all the support and love that you guys have shown me while I've been out and dealing with some personal life events, as I'm sure some of you know. But I wanted to get in here and kind of get back to working for you and give you some heads up on the September energies that we're dealing with as far as astrology wise, and probably throw down some tarot and some oracle cards. And yeah, while you're here, please note that our description in the description of this video and our channel are how you can go ahead and get the links to book readings with myself or with Miriam. We've been putting in a lot of work while still dealing with some moving and relocating and animals and all the things, but we do have our schedules open. So if we would love to, we even have our joined tarot reading or astrology reading where you get both of us for 75 minutes. It's a limited offer that we have going on, so feel free to grab it while we still have slots. And yeah, let's jump into the energy for my Taurus for September 2025. It's eclipse season, guys and gals. Yeah, we feels like those just they always come right back around, right? But yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that. We have two of them. So September's got some awfully powerful skies. September the 7th, we're going to have a Pisces lunar eclipse that's going to be happening at 15 degrees Pisces. And then on September 21st, the Virgo solar eclipse is going to be happening at 29 degrees Virgo. It's an anaretic degree, y'all. It's pretty intense. Now, the Pisces, the lunar eclipse, obviously that's going to be more on a personal level, whereas like usually solar eclipses are more on the center stage of the hierarchies, leaderships. Uh, and even, the fact that that's happening on Regulus, the royal star, might lend to some kind of activity happening for royals. But hey, and that's okay. Pisces lunar eclipse closes some doors, for us that have been draining us, getting us off track, distracting us, while the Virgo solar eclipse is going to open up new pathways that are going to help us be able to align better with our purpose by like helping us demand focus and giving us the discipline that we need. So that's pretty exciting. Be sure to look through your charts and see where you have 15 degrees Pisces and 29 degrees Virgo in your chart, and take a look and see where exactly that's going to be hitting it for you on your natal chart. Maybe even check your progress chart. But that way you can see if you've got any planets or any of your four corners, any of your points, any of your house cusps that are going to be right there. That way it gives you a better idea how it's going to impact you personally, as this is just a general reading for Taurus. So yeah, let's take a look a little deeper into the Pisces lunar eclipse. That's again going to be happening on September the 7th. And like I said, if you've got any important planets there, especially personal planets, like if you have your sun or your moon or your Venus there, you're going to really be feeling the lunar eclipse or the solar eclipse. So the lunar eclipse on September the 7th is going to activate your 11th house. Okay. So that's going to be your friendship groups, your communities that you're involved in, your hopes, your dreams, the monies that you make from those unique visions and ventures that you have. So, I mean, it's not a place to be a bad place to be having it, but you may notice that, some of the social ties that you've been involved in are dissolving, maybe not having so much in common. You may be noticing that your networks are shifting. Group dynamics just kind of that no longer serve you, they're going to effortlessly fall away, which is good because that kind of leaves the conflict out of it, right? So yeah, but this being your dream house, your house of dreams and your vision of the future, it's going to be a time to refine that a little bit. I wouldn't even say revise, but just refine it, fine tune it a little bit, and decide which communities align with your soul and your soul calling. I did go through and grab the Sabian and Chandra symbols for Pisces 16 because we always round up 1 degree, as 0 degrees is the first degree of the zodiac, just in case any of you were curious of how that works. But so yeah, anyways, Dane Rujar, godfather of Sabians in my eyes, quotes the Sabian symbol for 16 Pisces as, in the quiet of his study, a creative individual experiences a flow of inspiration. And James Burgess, another one I like to look at, his interpretation of the symbol is of inspiration, finding grace in stillness, connecting the here and now with the eternal. Pretty awesome. Now, I also did go through and look at the inside degrees, the Chandra symbol by Elias Lonsdale. And this one, it kind of more shows like the shadow side if you look into the inside degrees, but they can be very revealing. So Elias Lonsdale cites 16 Pisces as a peaceful child on a narrow ledge that overlooks a precipice. Fate has set the pattern. You are held fast by fate. Yet inwardly, you're also deeply and fundamentally free. The inner life is boundlessly rich, the outer life starkly poor. But when you live within, make good on the past, cleanse and open, and know that nothing is as it seems, and form is tissue thin. Great interpretation of those two signs. Virgo and Pisces kind of blended together beautifully. Now, if you want to kind of blend them together and kind of keep in mind that it's going to be happening in your 11th house, it's the lunar eclipse in Pisces is going to, again, it's going to show you which alliances are fated to end. And that's not always fun at all. But you may feel limited in how far certain groups can take you these days, and the inner vision of your future is actually expanding beyond those groups. So, and stillness, and you'll be able to see who belongs on your team and who doesn't, friendships based on of obligation, you've been doing this thing over and over and over again, and it's just not filling your soul anymore. Those kind of distractions or obligations are just going to dissolve, leaving space for ones that are more spiritually and soul aligned, for you. So that's beautiful. The visions that remain within will be the ones that carry you to true inspiration. So I do love that for you, Taurus. And I want to tell you what's happening over on the Virgo solar eclipse degree. Well, first off, that's happening in your 5th house. I always call the 5th house the fun house. So September 21st, mark your calendar. That's going to be a solar eclipse. And the 5th house is your house of children, creativity, joy, entrepreneurship, romance, sexy time, hobbies. this is the solar eclipse is going to bring fresh new beginnings. And they're all going to be in the matters of the heart, right? So things that bring you true joy. Even when I said children, think of childlike joy, like the sun card in the tarot, right? But yeah, you're going to probably notice or begin a new project. You may notice that some of those groups or communities that you've fallen away from are because you've gotten into something else that excites you and lights you up. So, new projects, a new way to play, new hobbies. And if you're single and on the market, hopefully not involved, but it happens, or love affairs, may demand more discipline and focus at that time. So, keep that in mind. And I want to tell you what the Sabian symbol is for 30 degrees Virgo. Dame Rujar quotes it as totally intent upon completing an immediate task. A man is deaf to any allurement. That's some focus. Focus. So yeah, I mean, it, again, that fifth house, 11th house axis. There, maybe if you've been working on starting a new entrepreneurial adventure, this the lunar eclipse is actually going to close out the things that were holding you back. And the solar eclipse is going to be the beginning of that stepping into that new adventure. That's pretty awesome. I digress and go backwards, but I don't mean to. I'm going to talk about James Burgess's interpretation of 30 Virgo. James Burgess cites it as being um, a false call unheard and attention to immediate service. Hmm, false call, right? False call unheard. So it's that penetrative concentration of attention. Having journeyed so far and wide to find the gate to be to the secret garden, we must strike boldly and not be distracted from anything in any realm. Okay, in quotes on James Burgess's site, it has it as rejecting the false through unusual power of concentration. Very Virgo, if you're talking about the final degree of Virgo, right? Like Virgo is very analytical, very detail oriented to the point of perfection or micromanagement. So, the blended interpretation between the two, and if it's landing in your fifth house, there may be something fun. I mean, I keep tying it back to entrepreneurship just because of the opposite house in the first symbol that I got, and the fact that the north node is in Pisces and the south node is in Virgo. Okay, so the north node is where we're looking. To keep in mind where we're headed, and that encapsulates everything spiritual, right? Pisces is is the unconscious, the subconscious. Um, it's to me, it's the dream state. It's everything that you can't see. But the lunation that we're having, that eclipse is going to be being activating that energy to release self-sabotaging habits. You may even not find that it might be easier for you to break habits. Okay. You might be able, if you have some addictions, that might be something else that's tied into this. But, or maybe those are the ties of the people that you're breaking away from to step into your new, right? Which is beautiful. All right. Well, it's talking about this. I mean, overall, the solar eclipse and those symbols, it's basically emphasizing how important it is to ignore distractions and being wholly intent on one task at a time. Now, for Taurus risings, this means that you're going to have to devote yourself to one creative outlet, one romance worthy person, right? One child's need for your time. It's you may have to do things one at a time, but that's better than all willy-nilly and getting distracted, right? So by focusing your energy instead of scattering it, joy will feel more purposeful and love will feel that much more fulfilling, right? Um, Now, the Chandra, I want to do the Chandra degree. Here we go. Let me grab that because this one hits. Okay. Virgo 30 by Elias Lonsdale. Okay. Super sensible beings manifest through geometric forms. Sacred geometry inscribes the pattern of the world going through its greatest shifts. Ooh, it's quantum leaps. And if you learn to stand back and be within the greater archetypal motions, you find yourself being placed in the perfect strategic positions and exquisitely rightful initiations and assignments. The transparency of things is superlative to behold. You are called to serve the highest, to respect and honor all manifestations, to be there for everybody, interior steadfast and impeccable, knowing the law, knowing the code, knowing the way, magnificent and applying vaster awareness to life's particular detailed variations on the theme of how everything fits together perfectly and is woven by divine design. Told you it was long. Sorry, guys. The fine-tuned sensibility of the master craftsman, particularly adept in staying modest, unadorned, and straight on. It is the exemplar of the way it is done when you know who you are and how things are around here. And when you see it coming through in every jeweled detail with little lost in translation. Beautiful. Very particular. And with this, that South Node saying the need to overanalyze, micromanage, all the things that's to go with the South Node. Let it go. And yeah, let's jump in. I think some of you saw my hand peek in. We're going to jump in and we are going to throw down some tarot. How's that sound? So yeah, we're going to jump in and do some tarot for my Taurus for September 2025. Wow. Is it just me or has this year really just blown by? It's insane. I know you see my cards back there. When I was meditating on you all, I was laying out for the Virgo eclipse and the Pisces eclipse. And of course, there's Taurus with its pretty little stone in front of it. Ooh, all right. I'm already feeling some energy coming through for Taurus. All right. What do we have for Taurus for eclipse season this September 2025? What is it that Taurus needs to know? Okay. Ooh, Queen of Cups. The Hierophant in reverse. That one wants to go. I have the Lover's card in reverse. Okay. Give me one more. Those outside influences. Oh, you're going to throw me two. Okay. Okay. Taurus. Whew. All right. I don't know how well you can see what I got going on here. So the underside of the deck that I have for you, on the overall energy is the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. As I laid this down, you guys are coming in with some beautiful energy with that Queen of Cups. I think your guys' intuition has been really spot on. You've been going about some different ways, that Hierophant in reverse. I think that there's been some relief with Uranus getting out of your sign finally and moving into Gemini. I think that it's kind of let off some of that unexpected stuff that just kept hitting over and over and over and over again, and you couldn't catch a breath. I I'm looking at so here's what I got for outside influences when I was looking at it, the Lover's card in reverse and the Six of Cups in reverse. Okay, so some of you probably have or are going through a separation or will be with this lunar eclipse in Pisces, with somebody that you care about quite a bit. It may even be I'm hearing sibling. I got the Six of Cups and the Lovers, and then I think Gemini, and I got brought to third house. So if you guys want to know how I saw that, that's how it came through with the Five of Swords being the caveat, leaving you feeling a little bit slighted, a little dizzy, discombobulated, a little maybe even just overwhelmed. You know, it's been all so much. It's been all so much. It really has been. And everybody's just been talking at you. And Taurus just wants to get to work or get busy creating and playing and all the things. Can I please? This was the Three of Swords in reverse I got to clarify that Five of Swords. I just popped out as an extra. Clearly, something's been draining you a lot. It very well could be, with all of this being such a very personal reading, that it could be speaking to the amount of time that something's been taking away from you, and it's been taking away energetically, and that's got to be let go of. So that's likely has more to do with either a sibling with drama with a sibling. It very well could also be too much funds. I just got that. So putting out way too much money. Besides time, putting out way too much money um, towards mm, towards these projects and things like that. But I think towards these groups. So let me put this into perspective a little bit. So if you have, let's say you've got all these different subscriptions for different communities that you're in, and before you know it, you've got like 10 of them, and you're spending $500 a month on just subscriptions, and you don't even look at but one or two of them. Probably time to go ahead and step out of those. So if you're in them because of it's a hobby, it's something you like the community. I'm getting that maybe it's time to step away from that community. I personally have noticed that there are a lot of people up in their feels lately, and it just got louder when Uranus moved into Gemini. But I'm starting to notice that even some of the free communities that I'm a part of, they're just yeah, it could be, when I say community, it could also just be you know uh, like social. It could be international, social communities online, whether it be like Facebook, like certain groups to where, they talk about topics. I started to notice that a lot of people were being very negative and just like judgy. And I just started unfollowing, unliking, like maybe that's a little different way that you can go about finding your peace, going non-traditional. And or some of you, I'm also getting that you may be in September. These eclipses might be awakening you to. I I'm getting the childhood thing, but maybe you have somebody that has been in your life since childhood, a cousin, a sibling, something like that, and you're just, you're just done, and you're tired, and you're ready to move forward and step into your new beginning. That way that you can create and fulfill in a more something more aligned with your future and your heart's path. That fifth house, the house of the heart, with Leo, I that Leo energy. Even though I know that's not your Leo house. It's just how my brain works astrology. It's all interconnected. But I do want to go ahead and pull a card, an oracle card for you guys, out of the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. I have always enjoyed this. This is my first oracle deck. And yeah, I already got the chilly chills. So, what's Taurus need to know for September? Really, you're just going to throw it out there? Okay, well, it didn't even let me shuffle all the way through and I got it. Against the grain. This is like the second booty card I got, so I got to cover that up for a second. Against the grain, number 4. Go ahead and put that back there. All right. And spirals of manifestation is the under energy of the deck. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. It's a beautiful set of messages here. Well, the number you got was card number 4. So let me break that out. Yeah, you guys are ready to bust into something new. You really are. And so that it's just been taking and taking and taking, but these eclipses are really going to light you up in September. And eclipses don't make something they typically don't make something happen like the day of, right? So especially like with the solar eclipse, the lunar eclipse, will probably, the moon moves pretty fast, right? So it very well could go ahead and cause some quick endings, and the sudden new beginnings do open, but they aren't always immediately obvious. So keep that in mind. But it's basically like closing a door to open a new opportunity for you guys that you're going to be building on. And being in the fifth and 11th house, it's very likely that you are going to be seeing some dream creations get started that are going to be very fruitful for you. I mean, at an analytic degree, very fruitful. So I definitely wish you the best with all of that. Um, all right, let's go to number 4. Sorry about that. And Miss Heather needs her reading glasses. Excuse me. Okay. So, against the grain. You want birds. This one I will say is kind of long, so hang with me, guys, okay? But it's got a great message. You want birds to be able to fly underwater. You want love to trump power. You want humanity to relate to each other as equals and to recognize the sacredness in you and in the world around you. You want to unleash the beauty that hides in even the ugliest of scenes or sentiments. You want to make possible what others say cannot be. You're a radical dreamer, Taurus, a sacred rebel, and you bring the light of a more positive future into this world. However, this can have its burdens. It can have its burdens, right? There we go. Deep within, you may feel that you don't really fit in with the rest of the world. There's more of that. Hierophant in reverse. You don't really fit in with the rest of the world. Perhaps your sense of how things can be and how they really are is so different to the smaller minds or the more can't even talk today, or more fearful hearts of many others that you are rarely received for all that you offer. Dun, dun, dun. There's that Six of Pentacles in reverse. Sorry about that. That's oh my goodness. let me get back to where I was. I totally got distracted with that. Like I saw a whole story play out, but it was a personal story to somebody, so I'm not going to go there. All right, let's see. That caught me. That was like, ouch, when I heard that. Um, this might make you feel frustrated, thwarted, or lonely at times. The universe so loves you for your unusual take on things, for the quirkiness in you that dares to honor that which is different and renders the impossible possible. You must never, ever lose your unusual ways and become dry, serious, appropriate, and conventional, not even for appearance sakes. For you would lose your essence. You are here to show that life is about so much more than conventional success. This oracle comes with a special message for you. You are someone who lives and breathes in the depths of creative waters. You need to lose yourself to the flow of music, nature, dreams, imagination, and fantasy through art and literature, meditation, dance, and in sensual surrender to the sacred waters of the ocean, the river, the lake, or even the bathtub. You must go against the grain. It's just it is just your way. You're not one of the followers, but one of the agitators. However, yours is not a force of disrespectful chaos. You are a loving catalyst, and by simply being yourself, you constantly remind people that there is always another way. This oracle comes with a particular guidance that you are meant to be exactly as you are. You are meant to be the black sheep, the rainbow sheep, or even the wild wolf in the flock of sheep. The daring butterfly spirit calling the caterpillars, that's you. Very Venusian. The price you pay for the gift of individuality is that you must take care of it and guard it so that you're not being dulled down and conditioned into playing at being something that you're not. If this has happened or is threatening to happen, this oracle hopefully brings you some comfort. You will always dream of the birds that can fly under the water. You know the true nature of your being can never be changed. At most, it could be only hidden for a time. Now is the time to accept who you are and allow your truths to be freely expressed. That fifth house expression, right? Don't worry about the effects of going against the grain. We are who we are in truth. We attract the support, protection, and energy that we need to thrive. Your power comes from aligning your outward self with your inner truth and not with general consensus. You will then find the other dreamers, other wild butterflies and atypical colored sheep to join you in conjuring better versions for our world. Oh my gosh. I have goosebumps just now reading that for you guys because literally it has everything to do with the fifth house. Like, look, I got the goosebumps. I don't know if you can see it. Fifth house, 11th house access. That is all about creativity. Like you creating it, you giving birth to a new a new something that benefits everybody and that goes right across that 11th house of your community. So and the fact that people may be falling away from your community, um, that aren't really aligning with you anymore, that oracle right there just gave confirmation that literally, like when you were shining your light and standing in your truth, the right people will come to you. They will flock to you. And evidently, like birds under the water. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. I just want one card for Taurus. Oh my goodness, you guys should want your message so fast. September 2025 eclipse season. What do we have for Taurus? What does Spirit have for Taurus? Okay. Ooh, beloved. Radical acceptance. Oh my goodness, that gave me goosebumps again. Beloved. Radical acceptance, too. Whew. And underside of the deck, we got 21. The first breath, a beginner's mind. Also a 3 in numerology. All right, so let's look at that. Beloved. That's right at the beginning of the deck. I like it. Or beginning of the book. Okay, so beloved, the object of affection, radical acceptance, loving what is. When the beloved appears, it requires 100% of your heart, body, and soul. Don't try to squeeze the beloved into your schedule. Drop the busyness and receive the one that you've been waiting for. Know that this card comes as a mirror to show you the divine within and invite your radical acceptance of everything you consider beautiful or ugly in your being. Radical acceptance. The beloved may not be a person at all. It might be a business venture, a project, or a venture calling for your full attention. Love it. Let it light you up and give it your all. Surrender to this truth. Know that you are gaining a passport to bliss, even when it feels that you're becoming consumed by the fire of the beloved. Do not hold back or be afraid, for you will emerge transformed. Surrender's key. Allow yourself to be loved, Taurus. Usher the harsh critic out the door and shut your eyes and ears to judgment of others who have not been ignited by the divine blaze consuming you, for they will only attempt to douse your fire and leave you choking on the smoke. Be careful you are not seduced by false promises or falling prey to your extraordinary ability to sabotage your dreams and desires. Again, that's that Pisces. Gosh, that message is so perfect here. Let me finish it up. Sync with, like SYNC, sync with, and sink, SINK, into your heart and trust your sense of what is true, and you will know what to do. The true beloved is never false. Never. Every gift pro-offered is valuable. Recognize the many faces of the beloved and welcome them into your heart. You will be so glad you did. No. Aw. I love that for you guys. Well, Taurus, it sounds like you may have a little bit of a speed bump with some peeps in your life, but you know what? It's all for the best. It really is. Again, thank you guys for coming back. I hope that this helps you. Feel free to check back and look at it again during eclipse season and see how on point all these messages are. Until then, it's been a pleasure. And definitely want to make sure that you keep shining your light out there for everybody to see. It's your season of eclipses, it looks like, with your 5th and 11th house, Taurus. But yes, keep shining your light and love you. Bye.